what you gonna do, but it ain't nowhere to run. When judgment comes for you, when judgment comes for you, what you gonna do, when it ain't nowhere to hide. When judgment comes for you, 'cause it's gonna come.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Tully Television. Today we're going to be talking about What If episode 4. But before we get into that, I want to thank everybody who has been stopping by, liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, all of that beautiful YouTube stuff. And if I haven't yet earned your subscription, please hit that red subscribe bar down below, hit all on that notification bell, and you'll never miss an episode of Tully Television. We are the most underrated, unknown YouTube channel currently going. But together, with you doing everything you can to get us into the algorithm of YouTube so more people can see our video, we're gonna go straight to the moon, baby! Together. But today, we're talking What If episode 4. What if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? And we're gonna see how this story proceeds. I've noticed that a lot of the What If stories end on kind of a cliffhanger, but that's because they're going to bring these characters together in some sort of multiversal Guardians of Galaxy / Avengers type of team. But as I said, what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? I just want to run through some of the quick pedigree information. Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher, of course, and Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. Rachel McAdams also comes back as Christine Palmer. Benedict Wong plays Wong. I always thought that was interesting how they hired a guy that has the same name as the actor who plays Doctor Strange and the last name of Doctor Strange's assistant in the comic books. Small world. Crazy. Tilda Swanson also comes back as the Ancient One. And Leslie Bibb comes back as a quick voiceover as the news anchor that was introduced in the Iron Man movies. And Ikea Amadei as O'Bine. This episode concentrates on instead of Doctor Strange going to this award ceremony on his own, he brings Christina Palmer, his on-again, off-again romantical involvement. They're going to on the way to the award ceremony, they're joking about how Steven should go on as if he won a game show, like The Price is Right or whatever, and like, you know, kind of silliness. And she unfortunately dies in the car accident instead of Steven getting seriously injured. This prompts him to find ways to bring her back, and he travels to learn the ways of, well, it was initially to try to get over the grief of losing her, of Christina Palmer, and then he came across the Ancient One, and like he did in the movie, and started learning all these magical spells and what have you, and eventually comes across the Eye of Agamotto, realizing that he can travel back in time. He contemplates very heavily about going back in time and preventing Christine Palmer's death. As him and Wong are talking a little bit, Wong picks up on his thoughts, and he's like, you know, there's certain things that we wish we can change, but you know, we can't, and we have to just try our best to learn to deal with the pain and suffering in a positive way. And offers to go make them some tea, and this is where we see Doctor Strange deciding to, yes, go back in time to learn how to prevent this death. But every time he keeps going back and going back and going back, she keeps dying in different ways. He tries to drive a different way, a different path, and there's still car accidents that kill her. He decides to not even pick her up at all, and her apartment building catches on fire and kills her. And he gets so obsessive over this and compulsive that the Ancient One has to eventually come to him. And I believe at this point when she's coming to him, she has already passed on to the next phase of her existence. And she tries to tell him that there's certain set points in everyone's life and in history that cannot be changed no matter how much you try to change them. Which is the first time introducing that concept into the time traveling aspect of the MCU. But he's not hearing it. He feels like that there's still a way to do this, even though it's a set point in time for this universe. He feels like there's still a way, and this leads to him and the Ancient One battling. And we kind of see at that point Doctor Strange going back after his defeat, what would seem to be an apparent victory over the Ancient One. He brings himself all the way back in time to try to meet this ancient being that knew how to change set points in history that cannot be changed. And he comes across the character Obiang, and he kind of tries to tell him, like, you're about to take on a heavy task, a heavy toll. Little does Doctor Strange know that this is the being he's looking for, but he's so obsessive over his task that he's not realizing, what he's doing still. And so what he does, Doctor Strange, is he automatically tries to absorb the power of, like, a very powerful entity, and he's immediately defeated right off the bat. And so he researches a little bit more and realizes that he's going to have to start off small. So he starts off with smaller entities like gnomes and different type of magical beings. He even winds up getting a cloak of levitation from this bug type of creature who may have been a Sorcerer Supreme himself in a different universe or dimension. And eventually the entities get bigger and bigger that he's summoning, and he's absorbing all these powers, everything from dragons to demons to all sorts of creatures, until finally he's able to absorb some of the squid monster that we see from the episode 1, which is, this is the first time we see kind of a recurring character, so to speak, in the What If series, which many theories are going around saying maybe this is going to be one of the big bads they have to face at the end of the season. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not going to speculate too much on that. I just think that everything's going to come to a head at some point, and we'll see how that plays out, because this show is getting a for sure season 2. So I'm not sure if this is going to, carry over into season 2, or if season 2 is going to have a separate story, so to speak, overarching story, because it seems like season 1 is dealing with different universes, but has an overarching story, so to speak. We also see Utah, the Watcher, Utah. I keep calling him Utah. I know that's not his name. Coming close to interfering, and Doctor Strange, as he's absorbing these entities, and the Watcher's contemplating the interfering, it's almost as if as the Watcher speaking to us, the audience watching with him, that it's almost as if Doctor Strange had heard him, but didn't see him, and then just kind of blew it off and kept absorbing the entities. Finally, we land back. So all of this is to resurrect Christine Palmer, okay, all these absorptions. We come to find out that in the battle with the Ancient One, she split him into two Doctor Stranges that exist in the same universe. The Dark Doctor Strange that we've been watching, absorbing all these entities and characters, and the Light Doctor Strange, the good Doctor Strange, still at home, contemplating using the Time Stone, but realizing Wong is right, and that he has to deal with this grief in a mature and stable way, and decides not to do it. But at this point, as we see the Dark Doctor Strange going through all these centuries of absorption and stuff of these entities, he's ready to resurrect Christine Palmer. He then comes face to face with the good Doctor Strange, and because we see these black energy things, black is absorbing everything, and it comes down to Wong giving some sort of protection spell against he's giving the good Doctor Strange a protection spell, and Wong dies. Everything is dying around the good Doctor Strange, and both Stranges fight each other. We even see a little fight with the two cloaks. The Dark Doctor Strange and the good Doctor Strange's cloaks are fighting even. And as much as the good Doctor Strange gave it his best, he too was absorbed into the Dark Doctor Strange, and was able to finally resurrect Christine Palmer. And at this point, the universe is now collapsing in on him, and he's realizing too late that his folly is that he shouldn't have let this happen or go this far. And as the Watchers there are watching the end of that universe come, Doctor Strange speaks out to him and sees him, and he's like, "I've heard of your people. Please help me. You're a god." And the Watcher's like, "I am no god. I have taken a vow to never interfere or intervene on anything. I'm only here to watch." And Doctor Strange just starts crying, kind of, and realizes that all this was for nothing. Christine Palmer, when she was resurrected and seen the true form of Doctor Strange, she became very scared of him. That's when he started realizing, "Oh my God, what did I do?" And then finally crying out to the Watcher for help. He finally came to his senses, but it was a little too late. And as the darkness starts to envelop, because Doctor Strange has this like magical protective barrier between him and Christine Palmer, we just see it fade to black as he's crying Christine's name in the distance. We know from the trailers at this point that he is still around, but how he survived will be explained, I'm sure, later on in the later on episodes. This was not my favorite episode, but I did like it better than the first episode, the Captain Carter episode. I did like it better than the Star-Lord Black Panther episode. So up until this point of the series, the first 4 episodes, for me it's going to be the murder mystery with Hank Pym, then this one, Doctor Strange, then the Star-Lord one, then the Captain Carter one. But there's still plenty of episodes ahead. We still have the zombies, we still have a few other interesting episodes to explore, and it's really shaping up to be an interesting way and how they're going to bring all these characters together. Because eventually we're going to see Utah, Yadawa, whatever, Utah. I'm going to call him Utah the Watcher. He's watching all over Utah and the West Coast. West Coast? But yeah, he's coming closer and closer to interfering and intervening, and there has been cases of that in the Marvel Universe and the comic books. So we'll see how this shapes up. So far, at the time of that episode coming out, episode 4, this has been my favorite episode. But I want to thank you all for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing. Share this video with someone that you think will get a kick out of it. Share it with your neighbors, share it with your dog, share it with your mama. Share it with somebody to lighten up their day and distract them from some of the cold parts of the world out there. We just want to, bring enlightenment to things that I love and we love also. Let's grow this channel, baby. This is our channel. Let's make it big. But, let's just keep doing it. But until next time, peace, nippers.
What you gonna do? Can anybody tell me why?